chair this council meeting session, financial general purposes. I'll do the health and safety. Welcome to all members of the public and councillors, and a brief health and safety introduction. We're not expecting a fire drill. If the alarm does sound, please make your way to the nearest fire exit. Emergency exit at the back of the chambers. We'll take you across the roof and down the fire escape. Take care as this may be slippery or wet, or you can exit the way you entered the building through the police station and out the front or the back door. If it's not possible to get to an exit, then the lift lobby is a safety zone in the event of a fire. Under no circumstances should the lift be used. The rendezvous point, if you just leave the building, is outside the parcel office near the post office. Under no circumstances, now please make sure that all mobile phones and devices are switched off or on silent. Any individual wishing to video, audio, record the meeting may do so. Must inform you that this meeting is being videoed by the council and will be uploaded to the council YouTube channel. Please remember, anyone wishing to speak in the public participation part of the meeting should raise their hand, wait for me as chair to gesture for you to speak. You'll be given a maximum of 4 minutes to make your representation, which should be aimed at me as chair. Please state the agenda item which you will be speaking about. Through me as chair, council members or officers may then respond to your point if necessary. You will not automatically be able to reply unless I as chair allow you to do so, depending on the circumstances. The full public participation policy and other helpful policies are available from the document holder in the public gallery. To all present, please remember to show respect to others in the meeting and avoid interrupting where possible to enable others to follow the meeting. Anyone present felt to be behaving unacceptably will be excluded from the meeting by the chair. Any member of the public looking to leave the meeting should wait for a council officer to escort them out of the building. Any questions on that? Before we proceed, I'd like to introduce Colin Andrews, who's sitting at the back there. Colin's taking over the role of RFO and also Deputy Town Clerk. So, would you like to say a few words, Colin?
Thank you, John. Yes, good evening, councillors. I'm a chartered accountant, long qualified quite a while ago. I worked in both public and private sector. Worked for the smallest and the largest, including Royal Mail and Post Office at its time in corporate finance. Worked for a family company over in Billingshurst for nearly a decade. As some of you can tell, I don't come from these parts. I hail from the northwest, essentially. But I lived in Sussex for 32 years, 26 years in Newark and nearly 6 years here in Seaford. I was also in Newark, a parish council for not quite 3 terms, so I'm familiar with a lower level of activity at council level. But I look forward to serving the town clerk and your good self.
Thank you very much. You're welcome anyway. Okay, item 1 on the agenda. Apologies for absence and declaration of substitute members.
No, Chair. Not present.
No, okay. Item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interest and interests other than pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and the Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda. Public participation. To deal with any questions or brief representations from members of the public in accordance with Standing Order 3 and Seaford Town Council policy. Yeah. Okay, going to item 4, finance report, and that's starting on page 3. Actually, it's on page 4. This is receipts and payments, bank reconciliations for May, June, July and August 2018, and you can see all the figures there. Investment account balance, the main one at the bottom there is 134,087.07 pence, bringing the overall balance to carry forward to 543,598 and 38 pence. Got some information there. Any questions on the report? Yes, sorry, Dan.
Yeah, just a question for the town clerk. Are you happy with the report and everything in there? Is it all according to?
Yeah, I think one thing that we're not maximising at the moment is our interest rates are very low. We could actually invest our money a little bit, even if it's short term, just to get a small return. You know, it could be just a few £100 a year, maybe 1,000. But we're not doing that at the moment actively, and that's something, and that's more down to time constraints. You know, so that's something that the new RFO can do, because they'll have more time to do that. Because it does require management. Because what we would do is we'd invest and release so much of the invested money each month to cover our revenue account for that month. So it does require some management to do it. So yeah, that, apart from that, you know, everything's as it should be within the accounts.
How much more money would that bring in?
Very difficult to say, but you possibly, you know, £1,000 would probably be a good achievement over a year with the interest rates at the current levels.
Yeah.
Councillor Latham?
You sure? What sort of investments are we talking about here? Stock market?
No. There is all of the bank accounts pay pittance at the moment, and we do have some money in a bank account, but for that we're getting less than 100 quid a year for the 136,000. There is a company called CCLA, which are used by, it's a charities and local authority investment arm, and that does invest in, not directly in the stock market, but it spreads its investments around property and in various things.
I'm just a little concerned about risk here.
Yeah.
We're talking of investments. Obviously with the bank, there's virtually no risk, funds last words, but no risk. But if you move away from banks, there is always an increase in risk the further away you move.
They're still categorised as low risk because of the portfolio they have, and I know it was something that we would look into more. And of course, there is that other thing on the horizon, the B word. And we don't know how that's going to impact things like, well, we've heard rumours that property prices will drop, for example. Part of this investment does invest in property, and what will the stock exchange do the day after Brexit? We don't know. So there is some things that we could, there is some things that we just can't predict at the moment. We're in uncertain times, but there's still a risk management approach to whether we invest
Is it
in
the right time, therefore, pre-Brexit, to be thinking about these slightly more risky, inverted commas, investments?
Probably we will assess what we've got available, because one of the things with us is that with our funds, we top heavy in April, because we get the precept, half the precept in April. We get all the golf memberships in April. We get rents in April for beach huts, for concessions, and all those sort of things. So we can find in April we've actually got, you know, £700,000 in the bank, maybe it's a bit more, but we're not investing any of that. So there's an opportunity to invest that, but short term, CCLA, it's instant access. So it's not, you're not tying yourself in. So if there was a big scenario, you can just say, we want it back, and it sweeps in straight away. So it is a low risk, but I hear what you're saying. I think we have got to be cautious because of Brexit. But it would be short-term investments to just bring in some money. But we can only do it when our cash flow allows as well. So when we get to the end of March, the amount we'll have in the bank then will be a lot less than we had in April previous year. It's significantly less.
Councillor Latham?
So just in regards to those investments, are there rules in terms of like ethics and who we invest money with potentially?
We have got an investment policy as a council which we adopted a couple of meetings ago. And yes, there is, that reflects the degree of risk that you can go to, which is very low risk. CCLA is low risk. The question is CCLA still low risk during Brexit? That's a big question. So,
quite high standards in terms of who they do.
Yeah, it's very very low risk, but with decent, better return than the banks.
Yeah.
Very low risk.
Okay, one very slight amendment to the minutes is that paragraph 1.7, I've actually verified all the accounts now and they've been signed off. That wasn't the case when this report was written. Okay, so we're asked here to note the report. Everybody in favour? It's carried. Thank you very much. Anybody against? No, that's unanimous. Okay. So back to it. The next item, that's the video. 10. Oh, right, I've got past it, the other one. Oh, yes, you're right, thank you. Okay, this one is purpose to report to inform members of the income and expenditure for 1st of April to 31st of August 2018 compared to the annual budget. And it's all outlined in Appendix A. So I hope you've all read those. Any questions? Councillor Alton?
To see the expenditure of the shoals much higher than been budgeted for,
Which page is that?
page 13. Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
No, you're not. As you said, the figures that one there.
I see the income's coming up as well, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that more plaques?
Yeah, it is dependent on how many plaques you sell, how much the expenditure is.
Yeah.
Having said that, what we actually did was, we looked at the pricing of the, I forget what they're called now, but the big plaques on the top of the show, and they were overpriced. So we decided to reduce them from 1,000 to 500 with a view to selling them all. Whereas at the moment we weren't selling any actually. So to do that, we had to, in all fairness, give back £500 to the 9 people who paid 1,000. But that's been now recouped fully. We've had more than 9 come back and buy, and we sell them beyond that. So it turned out, it was a financially good move. So that was the reason why there's been more paid out, because that shows us paid out money in budget, as well as buying the new plaques as well. But it's still been a huge profit maker for us, the show, in the region of £50,000.
Looks good as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Any other questions? Councillor Honeyman?
Yes, just a few. Same page 13. I wondered about 4261 grounds maintenance non-contract. So the budget for you is 2,000. We've already spent 1,920. We've only got £80 left. What's still outstanding to do? Is we're like a month to 5.
Which head are you on, sorry?
Oh, sorry. Seaford Head Estate 116 on page 13.
Yeah.
And then also I was going to ask about 427 on the same page as well.
Yeah. The answer to that is we could well end up spending more. But what we aim to do is we don't stop spending on an individual cost centre if we exceed it or get to the top. But what we aim to do is not overspend on the budget for that particular cost centre. So that's Seaford Head Nature Reserve, Seaford Head Estate. We would expect that our financial performance would be better than the budgeted end result. So there is a good chance that yes, the grounds maintenance may well spend more. I'm just trying to think why we spent that. I know we did quite a bit of path work. That's probably been part of the cause. But having said that, we tend to do most of our work like that at the beginning of the summer, so that you get the benefit through the summer, and then we'll do some more at the end of the winter, which will be in the next budget. So chances are there's not a lot more to do there, but if there is, it'll be recouped by the performance of the rest of the budget.
And the other one was 4270 vehicle and equipment maintenance on the same page. There was nothing budgeted at all for that. So I don't know, what equipment would that be as being received from?
Off the top of my head, a defibrillator.
Oh.
So I believe we had to buy some either new pads or a battery for the defibrillator off the top of my head. So I'm pretty sure that's what it'll be.
Yeah, I'd like to just point out that it's very responsible for maintaining the defibrillators, and that batteries and that don't last forever, and they need regular maintenance to make sure they're working. The last time we tried to run down in a police station, the batteries were completely flat and all the kit was out of date, so it was just a waste of time. That's not our responsibility, but you can see the
I'm
situation.
just trying to make sense when things go zero and we've got expenditures, so why haven't we budgeted for it?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, so on that one, we asked to approve the report, so somebody like to, Councillor Elton seconded.
So before we move on, can I just ask more about the beach hut?
Oh, right. Okay.
Page 15, 4420, beach hut capital expenditure. How are we doing on How many beach huts have we sold so far now?
10.
10. Because we're obviously still expecting more to come in, aren't we?
There's one under offer.
There's one, very close to buying. Sorry, I'm just looking at where's the...
Page 15, and right at the bottom, 4420, so beach hut capital
Oh, yeah.
expenditure,
Yeah,
£250,000.
that would only be if we're in a position to actually buy the next phase of beach huts, which probably isn't going to be in this financial year.
Oh, okay.
So, because that relies on all the sales going through for the rest. So the chances are that's not going to happen within this financial year. That'll carry forward to next year.
Yes, councillor.
On 4420, the 4583 actual to date, what is that? Page bottom of page 15.
The 4-4.
The 4583.
Oh, sorry. Mostly that would be fitting out the beach huts when we sell one.
Okay.
So we pay for them to be fitted out as part of the package, and then they pay us for the beach hut plus the fitting out.
The work's going on down there recently. I thought that was laying, was it water or electricity? Or?
Yeah, that's that could well be some of that. I'm not sure if that would have been in here though,
Yeah,
but it will
soon,
come.
right.
Yeah, it will come out of there.
Okay, right.
So the price to install a water there was about 3,200, I think, from memory.
It's just water, not electricity.
Electricity, looking at prices on that to try and get it down a bit.
I thought it might be the same dig.
No, the utility won't do that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I've had a proposal and a second. Everybody in favour? Anybody against? That's carried then, thank you. On to item 6. Bank account changes. We discussed this previously, if you remember, with the finance manager. The fact is that now that our turnover is number 5. I'm trying to get the meeting finished quick. You know me. Right, number 5. I'll take back what I said, and I'll say it again in a minute. Budget framework and timetable. You know that we have to set the budget for the coming year, and this is the timetable for doing it, which includes all of the various committees and the dates and times when those committees will convene to look at their budget. So prior to that, we'd expect a meeting to take place to decide what their budget's going to be, and then put them forward for consideration by this committee. So that's all the timings. No, this committee meeting is the 6th of December when we have to look at our budget. Okay, and then 17th of January we have the council working group, which is something we've introduced in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
to consider the full budget and what the precept's going to be and everything, and then the final approval of the precept will be in 24th of January. It's quite a tight budget, so we need to think carefully. Yes, Councillor.
Chair, will we have a date for the working group?
7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next
sorry,
page.
Sorry, I haven't turned it on. Sorry. Okay, I beg your pardon. I'll take that back, Chair.
That's 2 of us.
Thank you.
Okay, so any questions on that? Yes,
So
Councillor.
1.5, when it says council should have, there's no planned budget training, effectively the working group is the training, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
In an indirect way, sort of.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's your third. I know some councils have been here less time, but it's the
It's-
4th time you've set the budget now. So
Yeah.
we're not doing it like we did when you were first year of councils. We're not doing a training
No, you
session
don't need
like
to do
that.
it for very like that.
Yeah, and I think last year we did one, but there was only 3 councillors there, so there wasn't really a great deal of point in many ways. But if anyone's unsure at any stage about the precepting or setting the budget, then we'll obviously help with that just by asking us. But the formal training session we're not having this year.
Not for long one like that.
No. But yeah, you're right. The 17th of January one will partially be training, but largely just to give you a chance to ask questions, to give you a better understanding of where we are with the budget and everything.
And by 5 then, we should know what other councils are doing roughly and all the rest of it. roughly what?
Yeah, we'll have a Friday, yeah.
And the principal councils.
Yeah,
So do a comparison with the
Yeah.
ones activities and so on.
yeah, we'll have that for you on the
Yeah.
next, yeah, yeah. 15%.
Notice that this year that the deputy town clerk and RFO is responsible for this timetable and setting the budget, so, you know, questions now we've got to him, not to
Yeah.
the town clerk, give him a bit of a break. Any other questions on the report? You recommended to approve the budget framework, so you need somebody to nominate. Thank Councillor Latham and Councillor Raven, all in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Carried, thank you. Now we can go to item C. Okay, things have caught up with us a little bit. We're now well exceeding our income from a couple of years ago, and the Co-op, which is our normal bank, have found out about it. And they've decided that because we're in excess of £1 million turnover, then they're going to start charging us for the pleasure of handling our money. I know that the finance manager has been looking at other sort of banks and charges and things like that, and I had a conversation with her a few days ago, and she said that really there's no difference between any of the banks. You know, there's up and downs in all of the charges. You pay a bit more here, you pay a bit less there. So, you know, it looks like that there's very little point in moving. I don't know whether we've moved on from there since then.
No, it's still the same, but what we're saying is that just another contents of the report for now. You know, the RFO has got power to switch the account if we do find a better one, and we'll obviously let you know afterwards if that happens. But at the moment, they're much the same. You know, the charges are fairly consistent. It does look like it's going to cost us about £3,500 roughly a year.
Yes, Councillor
Thank
Latham.
you, Chair. Have we tried negotiating with the bank?
Yeah, we in effect we have been for the last 3 years.
Yes, but now we've got more money in the bank, maybe it's worth...
That's the reason to charge.
Yes, I appreciate that. But if you look at corporation tax, and Amazon, for example, the way they handle the inland revenue, it's to negotiate with them. And I thought we ought to do the same with the banks. And if we threaten to move, and they think our threat is real, then maybe there would be more.
It's a stone wall.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing it personally, so I don't know what type of conversations Karen's had. She's been dealing with it. But I will ask her. And, you know, she has been a little bit disappointed that the lack of competition for our business really. It is down to the number of transactions we have. We have a vast number of transactions with both the Golf and the View, plus other things as well, but in particular those two businesses.
Could you split the account so that there's less in each account?
That is an option, and that's something that it's on Colin's list.
Right, okay.
So there's one possibility is, what if we took the View and the Golf business away from the Co-op,
Yeah, that's what I would do.
and then leave the rest of the business with the Co-op? How would that impact on our account with them? Could we then look at having it as two separate accounts? So yeah, there's that possibility, and that's something we probably do need to talk to them about a bit more. See if that's a possibility.
If you look under paragraph 2 to 4, you'll see some of the information that has come back from other banks, and the possibilities there, particularly with HSBC is one of them. Don't know if anybody's had dealings with them. Yes, I have. So, you know, you can see that they are trying to reduce the overheads on their banking, but there you go. And as Town Clerk said, that the RFO has responsibility, we've given the RFO responsibility to change the bank if he could find a better one. So if he does, they'll let us know at the next meeting, probably through council. So, you know, working on it. It's work in progress, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
you asked to note. Sorry, yes, Councillor.
just a query really on 2.3A. We charge on credit cards. Is that include debit cards as well?
Yeah.
And don't miss a trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
I always used, when I had my business, it always used to bug me when I was paying the bank money and they charged me for it.
Yeah,
You know, it's just,
yeah, I know.
And somebody's got to bankroll the latest 1 billion yacht, haven't they? You know.
Yeah, and different things are charged at different rates at different banks as well. There's no sort of symmetry.
There's no commonality, is there?
Yeah.
but, as I say, I used to try and pay cash wherever I could, just to bring down those charges, which is more
Yeah, that's
difficult
it.
Yeah, it
on a
is.
larger
It's a bit big
business.
to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Over 2 million a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's commendable, seeing as 4 years ago we were just on precept income. No, I don't take part. All right, so, ask a note of content, no other questions? No? Note of contents report, anybody in favour?
Nothing.
Carried, thanks very much. Okay, at this stage, Ernie, I have to ask you to leave, I'm afraid. You could go as well if you want to.
Colin can stay.
You can stay.